What is going on, everybody? For those who don't know, I go by Philly Mike, and this is another PTP live stream. What's going on with everybody in the chat already? Been here chilling. Kayla, Murder Music, X Billy, Cookie Gang Team, Durav Patel, Godman, uh, Angelo, Wheezy, Godman, like I said, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Cameron. What's going on, everybody in chat? Today, we're going to talk about some of the comments that Nick Sirianni had to say on WIP. Now, again, he hinted to it. He didn't come out and fully say, yeah, they're going to be splitting the first team reps, but the guys on WIP were 100% trying to get an answer out of him. He was talking about competition across the board. Offensive line, wide receivers, DB, quarterback, you name it, we're going to have competition there. And they kept stressing every position. And he was like, yes. And so they came right out and said, so you're saying competition from Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. And he started the sentence with, yeah, competition makes everybody stronger. He went in to say we're going to have competitions against the coaches and all that other stuff. At the end of the day, he's not saying they're going to split first team reps. But again, if you're going to come out and preach competition, well, then you kind of got to keep it 100 across the board. To me, this is not what how I feel, but what I think is going to happen is that it's going to be a quarterback competition per se, but it's going to be Carson Wentz's job to lose. I honestly feel like it's going to be Carson Wentz's job to lose. Again, if Jalen Hurts comes out and takes a big step, he's knocking it down in OTAs, looking really good, running the offense, just doing what he needs to do. Well, you cannot deny somebody who's physically just balling out. You can't. But I do believe Nick Sirianni is big on competition across the board. And again, he wasn't mumbling, jumbling, stumbling with his words on WIP, but he did come out and he stressed competition across the board. How big of a competition, I'm not sure. We're going to get your guys' thoughts on that. Again, you got Team Wentz, you got Team Hurts, and then you also got people who are team whoever is the best man for the job. I'm trying to get a couple of my thoughts out the way before I get to your guys' comments. Shout out to the 44 people in here ASAP. Notification gang is in the building. Shout out to all you guys. I see you, Jeffrey, Bruce, Tyler, Big Play, Slay, Christopher, Philly, Trez. Just trying to get some of my initial thoughts out. So when people watch this on the rerun, they can hear what Philly Mike got to say. And then we go to the chat because the chat always keeps things popping. The chat is why we do these live streams, because y'all come with some great hot takes. Again, if you haven't followed your boy on Twitter, make sure you go ahead and do that. But again, I'm going to say, I like it. Maybe, this hurts Carson Wentz's feelings. Maybe this wants to make him leave it even more. I don't know. And at this point, I don't care. If you're not ready for a competition, if it, as a man, as a competitor, you should welcome the competition. And like I said, is it going to be a legit 50-50 competition? No, I do believe they're going to throw the edge to Carson Wentz, which I'm not saying is right. I just think that is what the Eagles are going to do. But there's no way you can preach competition and then really not have one at the most important position in football, especially when you've seen the struggles from both quarterbacks. But again, it was under a different scheme, different coach. I do love how Nick Sirianni keeps preaching, whoever's on the field, that is how we will run our offense. I don't know. We're going to get Jalen Reagor and these guys in the right position. It might not be my scheme, but it's going to be the scheme we run in Philly. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's take some questions. What's going on with everybody? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Notification gang in the building. Michael, what's going on with Peters, though? You're talking about Jason Peters? Or who are you talking about? Jordan said, if you can't handle competition, you ain't ready for success. Perfectly said, my guy. You know what I mean? You got the greatest players in sports welcome competition. Now, we can say this, though. Tom Brady, he was a guy who didn't want competition. As soon as I can't remember his name. As soon as Jimmy G got a little bit hot, he went right to Robert Kraft and was like, get this man out. So I will say that. What's going on, virtual? V Rivals, shout out to you. Philly Beard said the Eagles are going to feed Carson's ego again next season. Shaking my head. That is something that 100% can't happen. You cannot feed his ego for the simple fact that was the biggest part of his downfall. Scheming was bad. Play calling was bad. The O-line, there was a lot of things bad last year. Don't get me wrong. However, giving the leadway and not taking it back was part of it. But Nick Sirianni did say this. He had a one-on-one with Jeff McClain. You know, the Jeff McClain that be coming out spitting nothing but bad on Carson Wentz's name. He came out and said, listen, here at the end of the day, it comes down to the tape. The tape. Jeff McClain asks, how are you going to hold these people accountable? You're only 39 years old. How are you going to get the veterans? How are you going to get people to hold, to take accountability? And he was like, because the tape don't lie. This is nothing personal. There's nothing that we're trying to attack somebody's character or anything, but the tape don't lie. So that was the biggest thing. I think whoever's in that quarterback room, whether it's Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni, who said he's going to oversee it a lot too, if it's Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator, if Carson Wentz is missing reads, if Carson Wentz is doing things he's not supposed to, somebody must let him know. And maybe he respects this coaching staff differently. I don't know. We about to see. Michael said, Eagles go to Carson. Wait, the edge goes to Carson anyways. It's not like they can get hit. It's probably at throwing competition, and Carson should have the edge. Of course. Carson's arm should be better as a fifth-year guy. I hate people thinking Wentz don't want to compete, and Big Play Slay name on the Wentz said that makes him a baby. Remember the Vic/Foles quarterback competition going into 13 season? It's actually like that for this offseason, in my opinion. Hey, I wouldn't mind it. Like I said, iron sharpens iron. I'm always down for a competition. And again, if Carson Wentz wins it, well, then more power to him. That's just going to be all the more confidence he has going into 2021. A new coach, confidence that he won the city of Philadelphia. That speaks volumes to me, regardless if you're a fifth-year player or a young player. Can I come on your stream to meet you, Mike Chris from Oklahoma? We going to see. We might do a call-in at the end of this. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Wentz doesn't have it in him to compete. He's an entitled brat and thinks he doesn't have to compete, and this should be just his job handed to him. He will request a trade. We will definitely see. That is going to open things up to, the mindset of Carson Wentz. Again, was it fully the Press Taylors, the Doug Petersons, the Marty Morningways, the Rich Scandrellos that he couldn't just stand? Too many voices. What's going on? I don't know. No excuses at this point. Listen, the Eagles got a new coaching staff. The Eagles got brand new coaching staff. It's going to come down to, where are we going in 2021? Can we compete right away? If we can compete right away, We'll see how. Is it on the arm of Jalen Hurts or is it on the arm of Carson Wentz? But if you're telling me, if we see in the beginning of this season that, wow, the Eagles got a little bit longer, we got to rebuild a little bit, it's going to be 2 or 3 years until we get back on the winning side. Well, then why will we waste a guy? Why will we keep a guy along like Carson Wentz? So by the time we're winning 3 years later, he'll be in his 8th season. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. If we can compete and push for the playoffs and Carson Wentz wins the job, more power to him. But if we are going to be a 6-win team next year, then the next year, 8-win team, and then the next year, 7-win team, are we really going to try to grow this team with the money we owe Carson Wentz and the simple fact that he's only going to get older, not younger? I know quarterbacks are definitely prolonging their career, but it's like, to me, if we're in rebuild mode, start it over now. If we're not, if we can compete, because we do have core pieces on offense and defense, I think we need a lot more help on the defensive side. But then you got to rock with it. But again, I'm all for whoever's better. You know what I mean? And if you guys would have came at me early in the season, I was a Carson Wentz stan. But at the end of the day, I got 2 eyes. I got two eyes. Now, I do know the backstory. Doug Peterson wasn't good. Allah, he's not here no more. There's a lot of backstory. But at the end of the day, I can't just close my eyes and pick blindly. You want to win. You want to win your spot. You win your teammates. Exactly. That's a big part of it. Listen, having your teammate having your back goes a long way for catching that ball while getting hit. You know what I mean? Like knowing that this team comes together, you might go the extra mile for him. I know a catch that you get smacked down and you're winded, you pull that in for your franchise quarterback. So that's a big plus. Do you think that Hurts actually may fight better with play better with young talent, i.e. Rager, Watkins, Hightower? Maybe. Again, it all depends how, at the end of the day, players are going to gravitate to other players differently. But it's a leader that knows how to pull the players together. You hear that word all the time in sports, galvanize a group of men. Sometimes it's the coach, sometimes it's the quarterback. But at the end of the day, you got to go out there and make your paycheck. But as players said about what's the guy we were going to hire from the Patriots, Josh McDaniels. He comes out there really good with the X and O's, but the players for the Denver Broncos weren't willing to run through a wall for him. They weren't willing to go the extra mile. At one time, Doug Peterson had these guys sold, willing to die for this coach. The message must have got lost in the sauce. Maybe it was week 16. I don't know. You want to dump Wentz bandwagon? Hey, it comes down to, we're going to have to see. I'm a big believer that his leash is going to be short. You got the city of Philadelphia. You got all the media that are going to come after him. The silence he's now. I don't discredit him for the silence, but I think if Carson Wentz comes out and we, in the first 6 games, if we go 1-6, what is that going to say? Now, you can say, well, he needs time with the new coaching staff, but his contract don't stop getting paid to him. The next year, it's even more money or more guaranteed money. So it's like at the end of the day, because Carson Wentz is 5 years in the league, because we saw great things and bad things from him, I think you got to put him in the category. What can he show in 6 games? Good stuff in 6 games, you continue. Bad stuff in 6 games, well, I mean, you could continue, but when are you going to start the restart button? When are you going to do it? When Carson Wentz is 31 years old, are you going to start over then? You know what I mean? I don't know. It gets crazy. Wentz was getting smashed every week. Facts. Do you think Hurts is going to be good with this team? I think both of them can ball. Shouldn't even be a competition. There's a reason Hurts lost his job to Tua at Bama. Hurts cannot go through his progressions effectively. One read, define, read, and run. Carson at his best is an NFL MVP. I agree with you. At his best, will we get to see his best again? That's my biggest thing. If it really was, this coaching staff and him not being on the same page, well, then this is a perfect chance for him to show everybody. I try to tell you guys it was the coaching staff. I try to tell you guys it was the injury. So we're going to see. Leaders are born, not taught. Wentz is not a leader. Hey, people have been saying that, but I think we find out almost everything we need to know the first 6 games of the season. People going after Fogo for retweeting a complimentary comment on Wentz. What did he say? What did he retweet? If the Eagles stink next year, Roseman better lose his job. Hey, a shout out to my guy, Gate City Sports Channel. He said that Roseman's contract wasn't up. I think he has 1 more year in a deal. So I think it could really be a last but not least for Harry Roseman as well. Fix the cap, get us winning, or else. Maybe that is what Jeffrey's going to give him one chance. I know these two are tied together. They're like BFFs, as Philly 500 will say. He got some split photos of them. You know what I mean? I don't know how true that is, but shout out to Philly 500. June said, we won a Super Bowl with a one-read quarterback. Let's never forget. Hey, Nick Foles wasn't the almighty. I agree. If you watch that Falcons game, I was at that game. That was torture. There were a couple picks that should have been picked that weren't. And then a great stop by Jalen Mills. Kind of got away with one on Julio Jones. But, man, the last 2 games, he definitely showed up. But, again, getting the guys to play. Being a leader can go a long way. It can actually hide some of your deficiencies and maybe missing a throw or two. Because again, you just know how to get the guys to come together. And sometimes simplifying it is all you need to do. 100% of the pressure is on Carson. Hopefully we have fans in the stadium to let him know about himself. Man, fans in the stadium and it don't go good for him, that's going to be tough. Real tough. He will never be his best. That doesn't happen after injuries. Tom Brady. Tom Brady tore his ACL and then won a couple Super Bowls after. Tom Brady tore his ACL and won a couple Super Bowls after. So that is proof in the pudding. Now Tom Brady's the GOAT. Tom Brady is the GOAT. So it is what it is. Shout out to my guy BLSG with the $2 super chat. He said, as Philly 500 would say, Dallas still stinks. That's big facts. Patel, the memberships, check them out. It's in the description. Click the link. There's 3 tiers. Check them out. 3 different levels. We had a running game and a defense back then and a heck of an offensive line and a decent wide receiver play. Don't have that anymore. Yes, the 17 roster was a lot different from this roster. Some of the guys still here, but not playing at the same level, and injuries. That's one thing the Eagles got to overcome. We talk about this new medical staff. We've been at the bottom of the league when it comes to staying healthy, always leading in players on IR. You had other teams that probably were more injured in one season, but they have a bad season with injuries, and boom, they're back to being healthy again. So whatever quarterback is starting, you need your offensive line there. You need reliable receivers. You have to build that chemistry, that camaraderie with your receivers. That's why there were times when Greg Ward and Carson Wentz were getting on the same page. Carson Wentz is throwing that out route before he even breaks out of his route. Same with Jalen Reagor. Jalen Hurts and Jalen Reagor got on the page together quickly. They were anticipating each other's moves. Hurts was throwing it before he was out of his break, and it was connecting. That's why you see guys like Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. They just gotta, they work perfectly together. Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz had that chemistry before 2020 season, where they both kind of went down the drain. But you need that, so it is what it is. Mike, it wasn't an actual competition. Oh, Vic was promised a job behind the scenes, given that he didn't underperform. And that could be it too. It could be like Carson. Again, it's your job to lose. But if you're coming out in preseason looking bad, if I see you just struggling OTAs, if you're unwilling to receive the coaching, because Nick Sirianni said, I'm going to hold these players accountable. The tape doesn't lie. We're going to see. Did anyone else like the Madden edition of the Pro Bowl or just me? It was all right. Carson was frustrated in this year. He's going to be an MVP candidate. Oh, man. Hot take. Hey, at the end of the day, if you're telling me one of my quarterbacks is going to be an MVP, sign me up. Sign me up. I'm not against neither of these guys playing. I'm all about getting W's. I want the Eagles to be successful. Simple and plain. Sexy Vegan in the building. What's going on with you, my guy? Hopefully we get the best player in the draft. Can't wait to see what players we get. Yeah, man. I'm going to be doing some draft profiles. We'll start out with the top players, maybe 4 or 5 different players we can target with the first round, pick number 6, and then we'll start going a little bit deeper. 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, we'll go some sleepers as well. Like I said, if you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter. If you guys got a guy, if you got a sleeper in the 3rd round, maybe a DB, a receiver, a linebacker, or offensive line, and you want me to look at him, I'll look at him. If I like it, maybe I'll do a, draft profile on it. So definitely hit your boy in the DMs and let me know what you got. Everybody really blaming Carson, but Howie's the real problem. I hear you, my guy. Terrell said, yep, that's what happened to Vic. Correct. I hear you there. Troy Singleton said, bro, I wish everyone would stop. If Carson is still on this team, he's going to start. He's making too much money not to start. That's why they hired Nick for. And that was my saying. I said that even though, WIP was trying to get it out of him, and he kind of said, okay, it's going to be a competition everywhere, including quarterback. I will believe you, and Troy, and I agree with you. I believe it's Carson Wentz's job to lose. If he's here, he should be the quarterback. Well, he's probably going to be the quarterback because if you didn't want him to be the quarterback, you would try to trade him. Now, we did see Jared Goff get traded for some ugly compensation. I mean, they got Matthew Stafford, but they had to give up a lot. So that just shows that someone in Jared Goff's position wasn't getting much back. You know, they had to give him plus stuff to get a 32-year-old. So my thing would be, if he's here, they want to use him. But if the guy's playing bad in preseason, if the guy's playing bad at OTAs, and they're like, man, we should have traded him, that's the only way I see Jalen Hurts get the job, is if Carson Wentz physically loses it, because he can't do this, won't do this. That's the only way I see it. Miguel said, who do you take, Smith or Chase at 6? I don't think both of them will be there at 6. I think only one will be there. And that's the first draft video I will be dropping. Who I think is better, Chase or Smith, I can't tell you right now, but I don't think one of them will be there. I actually think Smith will go to the Dolphins, and then we might be left with Chase. Not saying that's who I would pick, but I do love some Jamar Chase. Pause. Philly Beer said if we get Jamar Chase, that would be clutch. I hear you on that. I hear you. What if Devontae Smith, Michael Parsons, Jamar Chase are all going off the board before the Eagles draft at 6? Who do we draft? I doubt that would be the scenario, for the simple fact there's so many quarterbacks that might go. Jets can use a quarterback. Definitely the Jags are going to automatically get Trevor Lawrence. So I doubt that, but man, that would be frustrating. Then you might look at the Kyle Pitts. Or again, I'm really looking forward to seeing if the Eagles do trade back. I will also have a trade back scenario, because if you could trade back to 13, gain an extra second round pick, that's clutch. Then you got the 38th overall pick, probably the 45th overall pick. You got the 38th overall pick, the 45th overall pick, and you still get someone who can make a big difference in the top 13. Maybe you then get a Patrick Surtain or Kyle Pitts. I feel more comfortable drafting one of them two at that area than rather 6. You know what I mean? Again, the quarterbacks will be coming off the board. Chaotic says Wentz already requested a trade, got Doug fired, then came back and said he doesn't want to be here. His relationship with the Eagles is fractured, so trade him now. We will still have some value. I don't know what the value will be with seeing what Goff went for. Don Dillon said, yo, the way I'm looking at this is the Sixers got a new head coach, and now they're balling out. Hopefully, we can get the same thing going with the Eagles. Hey, sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes. The Eagles normally keep their coaches around for a while. I like Nick Sirianni. I really do. I think he was nervous his first press conference, but I think X and O's matchups, he's going to get it done. I am concerned, not concerned, but I don't know how the whole staff is going to come together. You know, I like Brian Johnson as a quarterback coach. You know, I like certain pieces, but how they come together, how they come out, how they, they call the game together, because I do believe it's going to be a group effort. He will be calling the plays, but he's going to lean on his guys. And that's why he got people who he's familiar with, so he can lean on them, because he believes in them. Whether it's the right guys, we got to find out. Let's get Smith. That will be excellent. I hear you. Smith from SoCar is my girl's nephew. He's climbing up the wide receiver board. Debo is one of his best friends lobbying to get him in San Fran. A real steal. Shy Smith. I'm going to have to check him out. From SoCar. All right. Definitely I'm going to look him up. What round is he projected to go right now? Trade back for Waddle and get a second back. Trade back how far? Shannon Sharp was pissed that the Eagles hired Nick over Eric B, but he doesn't see the big picture. I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. Eric Bieniemy is a guy who's been on a winning team. He's a guy who deserves a shot. He should have got hired. He should be a head coach. Don't get me wrong. And I wanted the Eagles to wait to interview him. It's sometimes hard, though, when you got these guys going to the Super Bowl. South Carolina. Yeah. So, yeah, I got you. I'm going to check them out. Who do you think wins the quarterback competition? Again, I honestly think it's Carson's job to lose. Is that the right thing to do? No, but you still got Howie Roseman involved, and he's all about the Benjamins, and he's going to do his best to fix this cap, but I think it's Carson's job to lose. So if Jalen Hurts start balling out and Carson Wentz is struggling, that's a way he could lose the job. But that's like the only way I think it happens. I think they're going to give it Carson every opportunity. But again, if they do a regular competition, I'm all for a regular competition. All for it. Good luck to the Eagles fans, and I hope the Eagles can win the Super Bowl in 2022. Shout out to you, Cameron. Shout out to my guy, Jay Kills, with the $2 super chat. Eagles risk Wentz looking bad. No value trade now. Yeah, it's scary to see. Now, again, even it's hard to compare Wentz to any quarterback if you're going off 2020. But still, I'm going to go predict in the future. If you had me pick who would I want to start my team with, Wentz or Goff, I'm still going Wentz. Call me a blind fool, I'm going Wentz over Goff. I really never believed in Goff. I think Sean McVay just made him look good, and that goes to show good coaches can do a lot for bad talent, and bad coaches can do a lot for good talent. Now, I'm not saying Carson Wentz is great, because best believe he has his problems, but I would take him over Goff. And you saw how little value Goff was in that trade. They still had to give up first round picks and an extra compensation to move him for a 32-year-old guy who I believe has an arm. He was always put in the wrong situation. You can say he had Calvin Johnson and whatnot still, but I believe the leash a short leash. I mean, you can't come out the first 6 games of the 2021 season with a new coaching staff and just, if he plays anything like the 2020 season for the first 6 games, how can you justify that? How can you justify someone being that bad with 2 different coaches? And then what do you do from there? The value is really shot and you're paying bread. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Listen, if you haven't done it, make sure you smash that like button for your boy. The like button is free. It's easy. It's cheap. It don't cost a thing, and it greatly pushes out the stream, shoots you out, all that good stuff. Smash the like button for your boy. Shout out to you, Patel. Peace, peace, peace. If you had this offer, would you take it? Ertz, Wentz, and a 4th for 2 seconds and a rotational player. Who's the rotationer player? Yo, it would be crazy if Greg Ward Jr. wins the starting position. LOL, let the best man win. Hey, shout out to who he played for the Houston, right? Greg Ward Jr. Daniel said Eric B is coaching a track team and Andy Reid is working most of the offense. Can Bieniemy run an offense that is normal? Hey, that's yet to be seen. But, other people have gotten shots who are less qualified. And that's where I think the biggest disconnect is in that situation. Hurts has no pressure. He wins a head-to-head competition because he's in Wentz's head. Hurts doesn't get traded either way. Nah, he's cheap. You keep him on the roster. What is he making? $4 million? $4 million maybe? You keep him on the roster. That's comedy. Hey, shout out to you. Goff had a losing record in college and still got drafted number 1. Yeah. And Cal. Listen, I remember that draft. I was like, please God, don't let the Rams take Wentz, because I didn't want Goff. I wasn't sure exactly what Wentz would turn into, and it was great for a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. Wentz needs to run more. Always. That always could be in there. Do you remember me? I'm not sure, to be honest. What's going on to my guy, Rome One More, channel member in the building? Yo, what's up, Mike? I'm late. It's all good. Hey, we got $1.14 in here. Listen, make sure you have post notifications turned on, so when I do go live, because we're going to be doing call-ins, and I might turn this into a call-in stream for the last couple minutes of it, but turn post notifications on, hit that bell, and if you're new, subscribe to the Philly Talk Podcast. Also, $1.17 in here. Make sure you smash that like button for your boy. No right-minded coach would want to coach the Eagles or the Texans. Dun, dun, dun. So you're saying we got a guy who's not really right-minded. I don't know. Shout out to my guy Danny, says Wentz silence makes me think he's getting traded and doesn't want to be here. Yeah, man. I can't explain the silence. I think with all the stuff that was thrown on his name at this point, it's better to be silent, because if you come running, it looks worse. He should have addressed something maybe earlier. But again, I understand his motto. I'm the third string quarterback now. What do you mean? I'm the third string quarterback. It is what it is. But now you got time going by, and he did come out to congratulate Ronnie McLeod on winning Walter Payton Man of the Year thing, or being a candidate for it. So now, you came out and said that. Now you should just come out starting to talk about what's going on. I would like to hear him. Talk about the new coach. You know what I mean? I would like to hear his mindset on how he feels about the new coach. And he could have said a little farewell thing to Doug Peterson. Love or hate him. I mean, he was here for 5. He was here. He was your coach the whole time he played in the NFL. There must be some good times. Philly Mike, do you think the Eagles will be good next year? It depends. It really depends on Carson Wentz. Again, quarterback competition, supposedly. I think it's Carson Wentz's job to lose. I would love for it to be a legit competition, but I think week 1, you're going to see Carson Wentz. And week 1, we're going to get to see if Carson Wentz can play just better. If Nick Sirianni puts this team in better situations and we play better, we can win some games. The defense needs help. I think we need to attack what we can with free agency, what we can in the draft on defense. I'm not saying our offense is really good. You know what I mean? But I do think our offense is in a better situation once healthy, especially on the O-line and with the run game, especially if Nick Sirianni runs the ball and uses Miles Sanders in the slot. I think our offense is better shape than our defense, because we're going to lose some guys on defense, and that secondary is abysmal. And I don't know how long it's going to be until Ronnie McLeod gets back. Brandon said, I'm not feeling the character from Wentz, honestly. So at this point, he can go. Hey, I understand that. At the end of the day, as passionate as Philadelphia Eagle fans are, we're the fans that really get behind somebody or really just not feeling somebody. And listen, I was one of the biggest Carson Wentz stands, and I'm still going to support his talent. The way he's been going about some things, I can't co-sign that. The way he played in 2020, I can't co-sign that. Do I think he's done? Do I think he's a scrub? No. Do I think he's going to be able to get back to his thing right away? That's what we got to see. You always want to give a player time when he's in a new system, but time is not on Carson Wentz's side. It's definitely not. You said $4 million like it's not that much. Not in the quarterback name. Jay says, wish the media would stop trying to get money bags when it comes to the Eagles, right? Click, 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 click. Hey, I can't lie. You see my thumbnail. I try to raise some eyebrows, though, but shout out to you guys. Muhammad said, why does everybody make fun of Nick Sirianni? I bet all the people who made fun of Nick will be scared as heck. Hey, listen, he was nervous. I gave him 100% the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that press conference. I didn't take much negative from it. Ivan said, what's up? I have a feeling it's going to be a good season and we're going to shock some people. I love that optimism. Let's go. Tiki said Jalen Hurts is taking over the team and Wentz is getting traded. For what? What do you think he gets traded for? Sean said, who you got in the Super Bowl? ATS money line and total. I think it's going to be it's at 57.5. I got the Chiefs first half and the game over. Laying down 500. So you got it over 57. Wait, I got Chiefs first half and the game over. So you don't got the Chiefs winning. You got the Chiefs leading by half, and you got the over on 57.5. So 58 plus and 500 you're throwing down on that? I like the over. But what is the difference between Chiefs first half or Chiefs just win straight out? Philly Bread said, I said beard at first, my bad. Philly Bread said, we definitely got to fix our secondary. We got lit up like fireworks, man. Yeah. And Ronnie McLeod, what was it, ACL or MCL that he tore? But he tore it at the end of the season. So he's going to miss some time in the early part of the season. So you're talking about maybe no Jalen Mills, which is not a bad thing, but it is what it is. Ronnie McLeod missing for a little bit. Like, who we putting back there with big play Slay? He should just ignore it, period. They've been throwing dirt on his name since day one. I hear you. I've been defending Wentz for years, and he's really let me down this year, man, especially with how he's acting right now. I thought he'd come out and say something to his fans. Same boat, my guy. Same boat. Most people don't like Wentz because he's a Christian. Yeah, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. To me, what really matters is what you do on the field. You know what I mean? I do like a guy with some swag, you know, some character, but at the end of the day, it's what you do on the field and it's what you do in the locker room. I just want to know that the guy to your right and the guy to your left got your back and you got their back. Simple and plain. Y'all need to stop that Kyle Pitts talk. We need a game changer. Yeah, man. People talking about he can play wide receiver, he can play tight end. I mean, look, I started watching this tape and he's nasty, but we're going to start breaking down film in a little bit, man. This should be a very interesting draft. I think there's going to be a lot of misses, hopefully not us, because of all the opt-outs. We're not going to have a regular combine. So sometimes you take people solely on their attributes. This man jumped this high. This man ran this fast. This man did this, that. So you take them. I think with no combine, I think with all the opt-outs, people are going to miss. Just pray to God it's not Howie. Maybe because there's no tape, someone like Howie who just closes his eyes and picks anyways, it might work out. I don't know. Shout out to my guy, Eagle Sixers fan, keeping it a buck with the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. The misleading thing about quarterback competition is you have a guy that shines in camp but stinks on the field. Mental blocks are hard to overcome. Hey, that makes sense too. You know, some people can play very well when there's no expectations. When you got the red shirt on, you know, not too many people watching, you just feel comfortable and you go. So that is part of it too. Again, I honestly think the quarterback competition is mainly if Jalen Hurts really shows something that moves him up. But I don't think they're going to give it to him without him being really well. What I'm trying to say is I think that it's Carson's job to lose. It might not be the best. It might not be what I want, but that's what I think it's going to be. Don Dillon said, oh, God, did we really keep Moorhead? Hey, I don't think Aaron Moorhead did a bad job with these guys. I actually think you started to see some growth throughout the season. Jalen Reagor has been disappointing a little bit because of the injury, and he just was never on the same page that much, especially with Carson Wentz. Now, he did look better with Hurts, but it still was a small sample size, and so we need to see a huge step from Jalen Reagor because I'm tired of seeing these other receivers get drafted and just do what they do. And we over here not getting it done. Philly Bread said, I think we'll be okay this draft. We need that. We need that. Murder Music said, that's Carson. Shout out to you, my guy. Sean said, Chiefs first half is a minus 200 and the game is, or -2, and the game is -3.5. Chiefs always start out hot and fizzle in the second half. I think they win, but I like the first half spread. Bucks could win or cover the game, but I will win, bro. Hey, listen, I mean, the Chiefs, every single game last year, they were trailing and they came back. In the Super Bowl, they were trailing and they came back. I don't know where you see them starting out hot and then falling. I think it's the opposite. Be careful, my guy. Be careful. At 500. At 500. That's 500. Jordan said Asante Samuel Jr. in the second round is a must if he's still on the board. Listen, I love some Asante Samuel Jr., but let's be honest. The dude, what is he, 5'10"? We cannot be drafting more slot corners. He's graded to be a slot corner. Nickel Roby Coleman, he might not be on here no more, but, you know, Crevion LeBlanc, Nickel Roby-Coleman, Avonte Maddox is a slot corner. We drafted him to be the slot guy. We only moved him around because he was the last man standing and we didn't have any other outside corners. Asante Samuel is not an outside corner. He's going to get beat up as much as Avonte. Maybe he's a little bit more skilled than Avonte, so that can help him, but he's not an extremely high jumper. Listen, we can't be drafting slot guys. We can't. We have too many of them already. If both Smith and Chase are gone, I say Surtain, and we pressured the quarterback with 2 shutdown corners. We may lead the league in turnovers. What do you think? I think if you're going to go Surtain, though, I would try to move back. I think Surtain will be there around 10, 12. So you move back, try to get some more stuff, and then take a Surtain. I mean, if we got to take him at 6, I like Surtain. I like Farley, too. I'm going to do a competition I'm going to do a draft comparison between Farley and Surtain. I like Surtain, and he's definitely rated as the number 1 corner out of this draft. But listen, my guy Farley's right behind him, if not pushing on him. The one said Greg Ward is playing good for us. I love him in the slot. Eminem said left for a second. The Fogan retweet was about Wentz getting ripped for saying nothing. Victor Williams. Oh, he retweeted that? I'm going to check that out. With the 2nd and 3rd round picks, the Eagles need to go linebacker, safety, or corner. I'm with it, especially if we don't go in the first. Hurts will win the quarterback competition, but they will give it to Wentz because he got the big contract. It's going to be Carson's job to lose. Caleb said, do you think Doug made the decisions in the draft, but no one said anything? He probably had influence, but listen, we heard the reports that Howie Roseman was the main guy in this draft. Like, the scouting department wanted to go somewhere else in the 2nd round. He said, nope, we taking Jalen Hurts. Nope. What about Jace Horn in the 2nd round? Jace Horn, I like him. I like Jace Horn over Asante Samuel for the simple fact Jace Horn can play on the outside. Listen, I like Asante Samuel's skill set. And if we had outside corners, he'd be a great. And wherever he goes, he might play very well for that team in the slot. But we can't keep drafting slots. We can't. But I do like J.C. Horn. I don't understand what people think will happen in a quarterback competition. I hear you. Jason Wall said quarterback competition is all I wanted because the only way Wentz beats out Hurts is if Wentz is 2017 Wentz, because Hurts is going to take a giant year 2 leap. We get the best either way. I hear you on that. And that's what I want. Iron sharpens iron, and we just need the best. We just need the best. I need our receivers to make like Shake. Shake and bake, shake coverage, and bake in the red zone scoring points. Hey, listen, we need some shake and bake, whether it's at the receiver position, at the running back position. We just need some ballers. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Farley is the best corner in the draft. They're the same, but Farley runs 4.3. I doubt Surtain runs over a 4.5. Ain't Surtain a little bit taller, though? Get out tires. Get out Bullseye runs. Get out what? Tires? Get out Bullseye runs 40s. I don't know what that means, but shout out to you. What about trading down and taking Kyle Pitts? Trading down? Kyle Pitts will be there at 6. We don't need to trade down to get him. Philly Tress says, I think Joshua is going to take Barnett's job. Me too. Listen, Alshon Jeffrey, out of here. Cut. Zach Ertz, traded. Malik Jackson, cut. Barnett, cut. Unless he wants to super restructure. Brandon Graham, either restructured or not restructured, either renegotiated or cut. And you're like, Brandon Graham, Pro Bowl season? At his age and his money, he got 2 choices. Buy Felicia or renegotiate. I would love for him to renegotiate because BG, my guy. Jalen Hurts said, I think they should start Hurts because I know he has potential. So does Carson, but Jalen's just better. I mean, hashtag number 1 Jalen Hurts. Of course you're going to say that, but shout out to you, my guy. What's going on, Ethan? How you doing? I've been hearing a lot of Pitt. They're saying that he's also a big body receiver. I don't know what he is. Yeah, they're saying that he can play receiver too. So I'm going to start breaking down Kyle Pitts tape. I only watched highlights. I always like to watch their best game and their worst game to see where a guy struggles and to see where a guy gets off. Pause. But we're going to have to see. Now, Mike Surtain will go to Dallas at 10. Also, I'm a Florida State guy, and I watched Samuel Jr. for 3 years. He's definitely an outside corner. He played well with the sideline and mirror wide receivers very well. Hands. Okay. I'm not going to discredit you. Like I said, I've only looked a little bit about him. I just read that, at the NFL level, he looks to be coming in as a slot, but I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to watch more tape before I talk anymore. So shout out to you, Rashad Gibson. And listen, if I break down that tape and I agree with you, I'm going to shout you out for putting me where I need to be, because at the end of the day, we're going to do some comparison videos, like a Farley versus Surtain, a Smith versus Chase. Then we're going to have some individual videos like a Michael Parsons, a Kyle Pitts, a Asante Samuel Jr. We'll do J.C. Horn, and we'll go deeper. We'll go deeper wide receiver and also deeper corner, safety, offensive lineman. That's what I'm trying to say. I always point the wrong way. If you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, because if you believe that a guy will be there in the 3rd round and nobody's talking about this guy, you throw him in my DMs. Pause. You send me the guy's name. I look up tape on him. If I like it, or even if I don't like it, whatever. If I make a video, I shout you out. Give you all the credit. Shout out to Philly Fresh in the building, channel member, part of the BBP, Yodat gang. Make sure you go sub this man up. If you haven't checked out Yodat's page, Philly Fresh's page, make sure you go check him out. Shout out to my guy, Mir Slat. Yo, what's up, Mike? Sorry I'm late. Had to do some stuff. You good, my guy. This is one guy who stay throwing guys in my DM. So I will be doing your boy, what's his name? It starts with an E. I forgot the receiver you sent me. I started watching his tape. He's a speedster. You can use him as a gadget guy for sure. King said Eagles scouted Newman at the Senior Bowl. Hey, and that's the thing. I've been slacking on the Senior Bowl stuff, so I got to get back into the Senior Bowl as well. Who do y'all like at the Senior Bowl? What do you think about Goodwin if Godwin, if Tampa Bay don't re-up his contract? Listen, there is a lot of receivers coming out as free agents, but some of the big ones like the Allen Robinsons, the Godwins, if they hit free agency, you're going to have to pay big money for these guys. And I don't think we have that much amount. We don't have that much money. I do believe Howie's going to get the cap to be positive, like 10, 12, maybe 10, 12, 15 million. But then after signing the rookies, you probably got to spend at least 8 to 9 million on the rookies that we draft. So we're only going to have maybe 3 to 5 million to go out and sign some players. It's going to be a tough. We're going to have to do a lot of window shopping. Furry Duck said, yo, I just found this channel. Love it. Shout out to you, my guy. We do live streams. We do call-ins. We do regular podcast episodes on certain topics. We talked about the Malcolm Jenkins statement on Carson Wentz. If you haven't caught that Malcolm Jenkins video, it's like 2 or 3 videos ago. Go check that out. We do collabs with the best of the best YouTubers. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Audie B said we should take Asante Samuel Jr. in this second. We might have to do that as a competition. Asante Samuel Jr. versus J.C. Horn, possible 2nd round picks. Philly Brent said, I want to get rid of all the old players. Hate to say it, but we got to get young talent. It's all about the young movement. You went young in the coaching staff. There's no reason to stop there. Out with the old, in with the new. You already know. Frank Warner said the Eagles should try and grab Dwayne Eskridge. That is who my guy Mir Slat said. Dwayne Eskridge in the 2nd or the 3rd. The Birds need some explosiveness in the slot. He's definitely a slot guy, but he's also that gadget guy. I mean, if the coaching staff allows actual punt returners to return punt, he would be a good candidate. But we got good candidates that we just don't allow back there. Listen, shout out to my guy, Greg Ward Jr., but this man cannot return punts. He just can't. Shout out to Kara Poole in the chat. What's going on, Kara? Tyler said, I think we might need cornerbacks, but we may get them in the second round or third. That's something we could think about. Definitely. Listen, I'm also going to have a trade back scenario. I'm really feeling it. Audie B said, no way JC Horn fall into the second round. Hey, I don't think so too. But if he does, remember, we're the 6th pick in the second round. So if we don't, listen, you trade back in the first, still get somebody you want with that extra second. You can always trade back up in the late first, early second or something. I don't know. So one thing about this draft is this. No combine. With no combine, with so many players opting out, there's a lot of chances you got to take. Some people are going to say this guy should have been a first round pick, but he opted out. Or we there's something that we want to see. We like his game on the field, but we want to see his 40. We want to see his high jump. We want to see his shuttle run. We want to see this, that, or whatever. And so by not seeing it, guys could fall, and also guys could be taken earlier than it's supposed to be. With no combine, with all the opt-outs, I think you can see a lot of dysfunction. You can see a lot of people picking players like the one and only Howie Roseman. And hopefully Howie gets the right pick. Said, yo, Philly Mike, why do people want a tight end at 6? We have Goddard and Rodgers who can both play. Do we really need 3 tight ends? That's what it really comes down to. You take a tight end. Listen, is he really good? Yes. Could he probably play wide receiver? Possibly. But you got to get a position that's going to be on the field 100% or majority of the snaps. Not a guy who's going to share this spot with like a Dallas Goedert. I mean, I don't think we can do that. The ones that we need, good young players that has heart and leadership. Always use that. In 2017, we had Burton, Hurts, and Selleck. Just saying. Yeah, I understand that. But here's the thing. We had talent on the team. Our defense was good. Our receivers were good. We could spend stuff at the tight end position. Now our corners are poop. Receivers can use work. So now you can't spend that capital on a position that you're kind of okay at. I like Josh Jobe, corner from Alabama in the 3rd or 4th round. He's a corner that really is good in run support. He can blitz, and we can use him as a nickel, big physical, can force fumbles, and he's good coverage. I'm going to look him up. Josh Jobe, shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to you. Eagle Atlanta said, Mir Slack, yeah, he has those Troy Polamalu makings. Who y'all talking about? Who y'all talking about? Dwayne Eskridge is a DK Metcalf with Tyreek speed. He won a couple track records. Shout out that. I don't know how to say that guy's name, but shout out to you. Eagle has landed safety from USC 2nd round. I'm going to say, I'm going to check him out, though. But that one's going to definitely have to be inbox to me because what do you think about Trey Sermon? That's another one. I mean, like I said, listen, I know every single draft you can say that, ooh, I love this. But, yo, this draft is deep, bro. This draft is deep. I mean, Howie Roseman, it doesn't matter how deep a draft is for Howie Roseman, but this draft is deep. Micah Parsons or trade back. Listen, the trade back scenario looking really, really good. Roman Moore said safety. Bro, Rodgers is a GOAT tight end. People just don't know it. Shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in chat. Listen, if I missed your comment, just always re-comment it. I'm trying to get to all of them, but keep it moving so I'm not too far behind. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Listen, we got a $138 in here. If you haven't done it, make sure you smash that like button. Let's get this over 100 likes. Let's see where we at. Now, we started talking about the quarterback position. Of course, we got off topic. But for those getting in here, we will get back to the quarterback position. But if you always, when this is over, the first 10 minutes is me talking about the quarterback position with no comments. And then I started talking about the quarterback position with the people in the chat. But you know how we do this. Philly Mike gets the first 20 minutes. And the rest of the time goes to the chat. Wherever y'all take me, that's where we go. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, if you want to throw people in my DM so I can look them up, if you feel strong about a 3rd round, 4th round sleeper, and I'm pointing at the wrong way again, hit me up on Twitter. Shout out to you guys. My man loves to spell it out for me. Talon Ahufanga. Ahufanga. I guess. Man, oh man. You repeat it, but if you spam, I'll mute you. You know the limit. Hey, shout out to Kara, always in here rocking with it. The problem is we're getting into a third draft. We're getting into a third draft needing a wide receiver after drafting a bunch of them the last 2 drafts. That is a huge problem. If you draft the first round guy, then you also try to clean it up with a 5th and 6th rounder. Now, the 5th and 6th rounder are more likely to be projects, more likely to be guys who maybe are not going to be studs. But at the end of the day, last year's wide receiver draft was so deep that some of these 5th and 6th round guys probably would have been 3rd or 4th round guys somewhere else. However, we pick 3 wide receivers, and if we're still needing one, something's wrong with that. That's not a winning formula. It's not. We can trade back to like 8 or 9 and still take a guy like Waddle. If we trade back, we're going to get another second. Yeah. And teams that need quarterbacks definitely will look at us and trade. Shout out to my guy. Eagle has landed always. Hey, give me some Rosetta Stone or whatever that is. Ain't to learn a different language. What am I talking about? I can relearn English, I guess. Shout out to you guys. Frank said, I'd rather have a guy like Surtain over Farley because you don't want a guy like Farley who needs to develop. We want someone that can be plug and play day one. Yeah, Surtain is definitely the more NFL ready. I'll give you that. My finger, I don't know what that means, but shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Bashir Randall in the chat too. What's going on with you, my guy? Seth said, yeah, we need a number 1 wide receiver at 6. This draft, no qualms about it. Yeah. And here's the thing. I honestly believe one of these 2, whether it's Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, one of these guys will be staring us in the face at 6. One of them, man, not both of them, but one, I think. Trey White said we need Pitts, bro. That's going to be big for us. I don't know, man. And I really can't trust anything a Laker fan says. Shout out to you, my guy. Daniel said, and missed on Jefferson and Metcalf. Yeah, that breaks my soul when I read them. Whenever I hear them 2 names, it just hurts. Deep in the pits. Not Kyle Pitts, but deep in the pits of my soul, it hurts. Jay said 5th or 6th round is where you can get a gem that gets slept on. Julian Edelman was a 7th round quarterback from Kent State, and there are gems. Correct. There are gems late in the draft. But let's go big picture. If you take every 5th or 6th round pick and you put them in a list and say for the last 10 years, every 5th or 6th round people, there's going to be more bad than good, but there are some gems. Trey White said, I got to take that, huh? Hey, I got to get one shot at you, my guy. You know what I mean? Shout out to you. Witch King says, unfortunately, I don't see the midgets passing on. Yeah, why you got to do them like that? Bird Gang 114 said, why not trade back and get Jeremiah, can't say his last name, for linebacker, and Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback in the 2nd round? Trade back how far, though, to get that guy? Damn, my son is yelling. The name you said, whose finger? My finger? Wait. The name you said, I don't know the name. Yeah, I don't know. That's rough. Philly fan D said, what's your thoughts on Bateman? I'm not too sure. I would have to look it up. Let me know what you think about him. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't know that many deep players in this draft. What I like to do is around this time, which basketball season's actually been taking me away from it, but I like to really start studying the draft, looking at, rankings, sleeper rankings, all that stuff. And once I get my prospects from either you guys or just looking up myself, that's when I start studying. And I don't just do the simple type their name in YouTube and watch the highlights, because anybody can look good on a highlight reel. I try to find what professionals say his best game was and his worst game. So if it's like his best game is against Alabama, I'll watch it. Ooh, all right. His worst game is against this team. Oh, so you can figure out where he struggles. You turn the highlights on, you never see nobody look bad. There's no such thing as a low light on a highlight. So I like to see where the player needs help at. Oh, in this game, he was struggling because he can't beat press man, or he, blah, 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 whatever it is. So I never just try to type in, yo, Micah Parsons highlights. I want to see what he does when he's struggling in a game where, the running back went off on him, or he's getting beat by Kyle Pitts if he's matched up there. I want to see where a guy struggles as much as where he, has success. Mike, you got me. I know like 30 players from each position, probably even more. Hey, shout out to my guy, Amir Slate. Shout out to my guy, LB, in the building. LB, what you got going on right now? What you got going on? You see what Jefferson is doing, and remember, Chase was outshining Jefferson at LSU. I think Chase is gonna be a monster. I'm hoping we get him. Listen, Chase was that dude, and I think a lot of teams still got that in their head, but because Ja'Marr Chase opted out, Jalen Waddle, who was supposed to be the number one guy in college last year, it was supposed to be Ja'Marr Chase. He opted out. It was supposed to be Jalen Waddle. He got hurt. Devontae Smith taking over, getting a Heisman, which hasn't been done in 20 plus years. I mean, the last time a receiver won a Heisman, the Cowboys were winning. That's a long time. And with that being said, everybody thinks wide receiver. Ooh, Heisman, Devontae Smith. They sleeping on Ja'Marr. They sleeping on Waddle. I love Ja'Marr. We going to see what happens at 6. He said, man, I'm chilling, listening to you be go. I'll go say, if you want to hop on for a little bit, my guy, you want to hop on for a little bit, let me know. Abe Lincoln said, what's good, cuz? Dropping by for support, still in my basketball mode. Hey, yeah, let's go Sixers. Big win. I dropped a video on the Sixers too. Furkan, Tease, Ben dropping 21 finally. Listen, big win. First win of the season without Embiid. Shout out to Furkan Korkmaz. There was trade rumors about JJ Redick coming. Furkan Korkmaz said, no, sirree, Bob. We don't need him. Watch this. 17 off the bench real quick. Shout out to Furkan. My 4-year-old just freaking did a backflip on my 5-year-old's head. I'm wildly impressed. Hey, sign him up for football. Philly Tress said, as long as Howie has final say, we are screwed. Hey, man, stop reminding me of that. RDB said, to be fair, Waddle would have been the Heisman winner if he didn't get hurt. I don't know. Listen, a wide receiver hasn't won the Heisman in long time. Who are your top 5 NBA teams right now? I'm going to put the Sixers up top. You got the Sixers, the Lakers, the Clippers, Milwaukee. I might throw Brooklyn in there just for GP, even though they keep losing. Sixers defense adjustment at the end was brilliant. 2-3 zone. Let's go. But let's get this back to the Eagles. We're gonna have a Sixers call-in show very soon, though. Emmanuel said, get Chase at 6 and draft Campbell, the cornerback from Georgia, in the 2nd round. Campbell, cornerback from Georgia. So my man doesn't go to Sante Samuel Jr. He doesn't like J.C. Horn. Well, J.C. Horn might not be there. Get in there, Brunson. Hey, man, that's what I'm trying to save. Hits me up. Let's see what we got. Josh Jobs like a Marlon Humphrey type corner. Getting him in the 4th would be a steal. He was a 4th in the nation in pass defended. He had more sacks, total tackles, and forced fumbles than Surtain. Wow. Josh Job. Hey, shout out to Marlon Humphrey. I like that style of play. That guy's legit. I'm definitely gonna look him up now. X Billy said, call in there. This is the thing. We gotta do some Sixer call-ins, and this was going to turn into a call-in. Now, like I said, if my man LB's trying to get up in here, then I'm gonna let him rock up in here. We talk some Eagles before we get out of here. Anyways, we had an hour and 4 minutes right now. Mike, can you be our GM? Roseman gonna take Zach Wilson at 4. I'll cry. Farley is not the answer. I watch Caleb Farley. I watch Caleb Farley a lot because I am a tech guy. He had problems with the big, strong receivers, and he opted out last season because of COVID-19. Exactly. See, and that's what hurts. A lot of people opting out for COVID-19. It's going to lower them, raise them. I don't know, man. That's tough. That's real tough. Adam said, trade back to the Chargers, then get a 2nd round draft pick and get Waddle or Pitts if they're still on the board. Where's the Chargers pick at? Yo, Tig Sports, big fan. I follow you on TikTok, my guy. Oh, shout out to that. I'm gonna have to look you up then. Uh, Tig Sports. Shout out to my guy Robert Dredden with the 4. I repeat, 4.99 super chat. What up, Philly Mike? My favorite cowboy. My favorite cowboy is Jerry Jones because nobody screws the Cowboys like Jerry. Shout out to you. He's been doing it for a long time and he's going to continue to do it. That's why we cannot have Jeffrey Lurie start falling into that Jerry Jones type ownership. No, sir. No, sir. Philly Brett said Devontae Smith is good, but too small. I think he gets thrown around by bigger NFL cornerbacks. Maybe he proves me wrong. Yeah, man, it's going to be tough. Maxi Season said, what up, Philly sports fans? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hold up real quick. Let me ask my guy something real quick. Shout out to you guys. Mir Slay said, Mike, I want Chase. I asked him yesterday on live what he think of Philly. He smiled and said, fly, Eagles, fly. Chase showing Philly some love. What? So wait, where do you, on Instagram live? He was live on Instagram? That's wild. That's wild. Wheezy said, what do you want to do with Zach Ertz, Mike? Listen, we got to trade him. You got to trade him. Hopefully, you try to get him to a contender so they can pay something of a price. And hopefully, once we start opening up the block for him to be traded, we need multiple people coming, because if only a team or two comes, you really can't raise his price. Teams around the league know we don't have money to pay Zach Ertz. They also know the reports that he wants more money. Some of these teams have enough money and they're willing to pay him. So they know they got to pay him in a year or so. And they know we can't afford him. So they're not going to offer what his regular value is. They're going to try to lowball us. But now if we say the Packers are looking, the Ravens are looking, the bloody blue blahs are looking, well, then we can try to get it up there. But we got to trade him. Hopefully we can slide a second, possibly but I think it's going to be more closer to like a 4th round pick, 3rd round pick, 4th or 3rd. Jamar Chase, definitely the answer. He's not extremely fast, but he can go against some of the bigger cornerbacks. I mean, Jamar Chase can do a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. We're going to definitely talk about him. One of them two are going to be there. Possibly him. Devontae is the same exact size as Justin Jefferson. Nobody going to throw him around. What players our defense are leaving in free agency? That's what I got to start looking at too. Recently, I typed in the receivers, and the receivers that are free agents this year are some nice ones to try to cop on your team. However, we broke. So we only can do some last minute fill-in pieces. Listen, as Gate told you guys, I believe Howie's going to get the cap over probably like 15 million plus. But then you got to sign your rookies. That's going to be about $9 million tied up in rookies. So you tie $9 million up in rookies. If we only have 13 to 15 million total, what we got? 6 million, 5 million, 4 million to play with. Try to get some cheapies, some Nickel Roby-Colemans, veteran minimum. You might need to get Jalen Mills back on a $2 million deal. Hey, I don't want these guys back, but what can you get at the dollar store? You know what I mean? You go in the dollar store to get your players, you're going to have some guys that are just, yeah. That's it. Jason Bateman. What position? Rashad Bateman. LOL, I'm retarded. Shout out to you, my guy. Wentz and Zach Ertz must go. I hate to say it. You want to get them both up out of here. Evan said, I say we trade Ertz for someone in Chicago like Mooney. Or if the Bears are desperate, maybe Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson's a free agent. Allen Robinson is a free agent. Do you think because of some opt-outs, it made some players shine more than they usually would with all the normal competition out there? Hey, that's definitely true. If Jalen Waddle's there, that takes away from Devontae Smith. If Farley's there, maybe he matches up with some other people. Like, there's definitely going to be a lot of misjudgment on players who had a great junior year and they opted out senior. Were they going to hit a wall? Were they going to go backwards? Was that their ceiling? Are they going to get better or worse? There's going to be a lot of ifs. There's no combine. So some people get taken solely on their 40-yard dash or their long jump or their shuttle they're like, wow, this guy can do this, their bench press. You're going to have to take things at face value at this point. So there's going to be some up and downs. What already is a hard job for Howie Roseman just got harder. But the 6th overall pick is a pick you cannot mess up. I hope. I hope. Emmanuel said Mills might not be a bad option in the defense for one more year on the cheap. Exactly. When I say Jalen Mills might be back here, people like, are you stupid? He's not good. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. He's back here because he's not good, and we don't got no money. We don't got no money. I really want Chase, but now I'm thinking the smart move is to trade back to 9 and take Surtain. Surtain is probably the most ready guy in here when you look at his attributes and his physical appearance. Definitely can get it done. He had some struggles late in the season. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to you guys. Had to just send that text real quick. Is Carson going to stay with the Eagles? The way it's looking to me, I think Carson's going to be here. I mean, him being silent, I don't know what that means. There's still people saying that reports are that he still thinks he wants out. I don't know. I didn't hear any new ones. I only know the old ones. But at the end of the day, it looks like he's going to be here. For the simple fact, Nick Sirianni's talking about an open competition. I still believe it's Carson's job to lose, but I believe he's going to be on a short leash. Jeremy Hampton says Surtain Jr., Samuel Jr., that would be crazy. Dang, you would have a whole new revamped secondary early. Philly Fanatic said cooking, bro. Coolin'. Shout out to you, my guy. Where's your wrench? Hey, yo, what happened to your wrench? Let me get you your wrench back, my guy. Give me a second. It's on StreamYard, so I'm going to get you in a second. John Jones says, out here in Vegas area, originally from the East Coast, thinking about heading to Philly. Hey, come through. I'm not exactly in Philly, but gotta love it around here, you know? Gotta love it. Gats to love it. Shout out to my guy and moderator. Witch King says, even last year when Alabama had Judy and Ruggs and Devontae Smith was the best receiver on the team, he is the best hands of anyone. He got the best hands of anyone. I mean, the dude is a route runner, though. Don't get me wrong. I love him. But again, him not wanting to weigh in is kind of scary too, even though, you know, you can get the necessary weight on if you need to. TF13 started out as a tight end, but Pitts will be around in the second round. You think Kyle Pitts will drop to the second round? My goodness. Hey, if that happens, shout out to you. Jesse James in the building, channel member. What's going on with you, my guy? Trade back. We need defense. I hear you. He said, who should start? To me, I think it should be a quarterback competition, but I do believe it's going to be a competition where Carson Wentz has the job and it's up to him to lose it. Shout out to my guy, Bobby Murphy, coming in here with I knew he was coming in here to throw a haymaker at Carson. $128 million crybaby by Carson. I knew that was coming. I knew it. Harry Poole said we should be drafting an offensive tackle or a tall cornerback by now. Hey, what if that dude, I forgot, somebody in the chat let me know because I'm horrible with names. Senny Pure, or what is that offensive tackle's name? The one that's going to go in the top 7, top 5, probably top 4. Senny Pure, whatever his name is, I'm not sure. Be More Philly said, my guy, what's going on, fam? Hey, shout out to my guy, Be More Philly. The best not reporting on the Eagles. Silence is a strong tool mentally. When everyone throw your name in the dirt, Wentz is doing exactly what he should. Hey, I hear that. I still would like to see what's up with him, though. Yeah, I mean, no joke. Breaking news, Mike. Eagles just hired a new linebacker coach, 27 years old, Nick Rallis, former assistant LB coach for the Vikings. Ooh, got the linebacker coach for the Vikings, 27. I know we just got the new DB coach from Georgia. Hey, staff coming along. Like I said, I'm curious to see how everything kind of finds itself in under Nick Sirianni, but hey, the staff is coming together. Good, bad, ugly, sad. We about to see Penny Swore or whatever his name is. Yeah, there. What if he falls to 6? What if he falls to 6? Shout out to everybody who said his name. Witch King, I Shine, Danny. Shout out to you guys. What if he falls to 6? If that guy falls to 6, would you take him? So you got that offensive tackle at 6. Would you take him? The Sixers play on Wednesday. I will be doing a live play-by-play. Philly Fanatic said, as the Eagle fans, we want all the answers from Sirianni, and he's only been here 1 week. We need to give coach an opportunity to at least see the players first. At least get through the draft and free agency. I agree. No decision should be rushed. This is, critical thinking. We need the right answer. I believe Carson Wentz is going to get the first crack. He got to make it work. He got to make it work early. I just don't like Wentz. He's different. I don't like Wentz. He's different. He just acts like he doesn't want to be here. He didn't even congratulate the new head coach. Something isn't adding up. He did just come out, though, and give props to Ronnie McLeod for being a Walter Payton Man candidate. So all Carson has to do is look at Aikman comments on Doug and see that the owners want you fired as a Super Bowl winning coach 3 years after we won. Stop being a crybaby and read between the dang lines. Shout out to everybody in the chat. My guy Sean says no Chase or Surtain. It's out that Parsons got character. It's out that Parsons got character issues. So you're saying no Chase or Surtain? It's out that Parsons got character issues. So who would you go with the 6 then? Listen, I want everybody. Listen, we got $122 people in here. First, let's do a couple things. One, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done it, smash the like button for your boy. It pushes this out to other Philly fans. And also, real quick, everybody throw in the chat, who would you take at 6? Who would you take 6 overall? Let me know. I mean, hopefully the guy's there, but let me know who you would take. If you wouldn't take a guy and you would move back, you don't got to say who you would take moving back. You can, or you can just say move back. But I want to get a little taste of how the room feels, where you guys do. Where would you guys lie? No player. Welcome, Sirianni. I guess they want him to leave too. So there we go. Let's go. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna just say him out. Chase said, Rome One More said Chase. Sean said, no, I'll take Chase or Surtain. I'm saying at 6. Oh, wow, this is going fast. Emmanuel said Chase. Stop, please, said Chase. Vincent said Devontae Smith. It's me, nobody said Chase. Jerry said, I want Devontae. Philly Bread, Chase. Audie B, Chase or Smith. Bro, I'm so tired of hearing these fake GMs saying guys are slot wide receivers or slot corners. We need cheap talent football players. I had Lamb, Jefferson, and Judy. No cap, but I had Reagor behind Claypool. Hey, shout out to you. Chase, Mir said Chase. Scooby said Surtain. Ubi said Jamar Chase. Robert said gotta be Chase or Surtain. B More said Surtain or trade back. Germ says Pitts. Jesse said trade back, take a corner. Eric said move back 2 spots. John said Chase. Eminem says female kicker. Jerry said Devontae Smith. Eagles has landed, said Devontae Smith. The Gambling Hippie said OT Smith or Pitts. Asylum said this is Philly. We don't like to wait. Shout out to you. Trey White said Pitts. Bobby said Chase or Waddle. Jeremiah said salute. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got a couple Smiths. Eagles Rule said trade back. Grab JC Horn. Daniel said Chase. Aishan said I feel like Chase will be there at 6. Maxie said Sarah Fuller. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. But hey, listen. So the bulk of the people are trying to go Chase or Smith. Now I know if both of them are somehow not there, that's when you got to throw the Surtains, the Pitts, the Parsons, the move backs. But man, that's That's interesting. I thought there would be more people looking at the defensive side of the ball or trade back, but I think a lot of people are sold on one of them top two receivers. And it is sad that we picked a wide receiver in JJ Arcega-Whiteside. We picked a first round pick in Jalen Reagor. I won't necessarily say, but it's close to the. We got two guys late in the round. We keep picking receivers. We just can't get it. We can't get it. We can't get them acclimated. Whew. We going on an hour, 20 minutes. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Fitbox says, can we take a new owner at 6? Right? Let's go. Sign me up. Trade Jeff Lurie for the 6th overall pick to who? Who we want? It's like that. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, this stream started at the quarterback position, but the chat got me going on to the draft. Like I said, we're going to have a lot of draft streams. Hey, remember, for those who are new to my channel, don't remember, but last year draft was tough. We were live for the draft. We streamed the draft on this channel. We got the Battlebirds podcast on. We be chatting it up. We go hard for the draft, and you will be seeing a lot of draft profiles on this channel. Let me smash the like button if you haven't done it, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Vincent said Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver, and I would consider him at 6'2". A lot of people saying that he can play a wide receiver. We're about to see. I think our new DB coach is going to get our cornerbacks playing physical off the line for a change. Hey, I'm just ready to see my cornerback match up in front of the guy and not 10 yards off. That's facts. Jeremiah Butler said at least trade Howie, right? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Eagle Atlanta said if we are drafting a tight end, draft Noah Gray from Duke, very good pass catcher and route runner. Take a wide receiver in round 1. So when would you draft Noah Gray? What round do you think? He's a late, what round? I Shine 101 said hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to you guys. The question that needs to be asked is how will you feel about certain players, not who we want, because we have seen we don't get who we want. Yeah, that's true. You know, what's on the Philadelphia fan wish list normally doesn't come true. So at the end of the day, we got to prepare ourselves for that letdown. Mike, you going to be live for the draft? Yes, sir. Listen, last draft we had like 500, 600, 700 people in here. And that wasn't just my channel. It was 3 channels live. But that was before, you know, the Philly Talk podcast has this many people now. But listen, we going to be live. Us, me, Gate, Fresh, BBP in the house. Make sure you come through. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a crazy one. I don't know how we let Metcalf go. He wears a Batman suit. Facts. Facts. I was like, yo, we about to get Jefferson. Nope. Then I was like, okay, but Chin or Mims, I'll be happy. He said Jalen Hurts. I thought I was tripping, bro. I didn't even know what was happening. Bro. The crazy thing is my brother has a connect that was not was hearing who the pick was before everybody else. And bro, that junk broke me. I was super shocked. Thoughts on if they take a wide receiver? I think the way Nick Sirianni's thinking, I really think he has offense in his head. I think he will take a wide receiver. If one of them two are there at 6, Smith or Chase, I believe we pull the trigger. Is that what I want to do? I'm not sure. And I will have different scenarios and breakdowns coming soon. But I think that's what Nick Sirianni wants. However, I think we need more help on the defensive side of the ball, man. Our secondary is abysmal. We need you and fresh energies. Let Gates do the comments. Let Gates do the comments. Hey, normally I could keep my energy right and do the comments. You know what I mean? Gate got the test the waters out last one with the comments. I mean, he was just going comment after comment. He was just starting to go like this at this point. He was just my man Gate wasn't even reading them. He was just clicking them quickly. Shout out to Gate though. Appreciate these guys. They my peoples. Get your juice in your 1800 and watch the show of how he drafted. Man, you might need 1800 after he drafts. But like I said, shout out to everybody in chat. We got $134. We've been going for an hour and 25 minutes. I was going to possibly do a call-in show, but we're going to save that for possibly tomorrow. I think maybe Wednesday or Thursday in the week. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It's been a while since I did a regular Eagles live stream myself. Shout out to you guys. If you haven't done it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate you guys. We going to chop it up a little bit more. Like I said, it went from the quarterbacks to the drafts, but I love how you guys just take the chat away. You know, you just take it away. Appreciate you guys. It's all good. It's all good. I'm trying to see where I left off. Don't worry, man. We taking that long snapper, backup water boy, or some random man named Jalen. Hey, there's a Jalen that is actually talented. Jalen Waddle. But come on now. Jalen Waddle, Jalen Reagor, Jalen Hurts. That'd be wild. That will be wild. You got Jalen under center. He's looking. Jalen in motion. The other Jalen in the backfield. Just like a bunch of Jalens. We be the Philadelphia Jalens. Mike, what position do you think the Eagles should take? I think we should trade back and take a corner. That's what I really believe. Trade back, take a corner. Again, do I believe Howie can pick the best second or third round receiver? No. But there's going to be players in this draft who are like Claypool, who was a second round pick who's balling. A DK Metcalf, second round pick who's balling. There's going to be them players in this draft. There's some good receivers. Definitely look at Job's tape. I like what I see from him. Listen, that's the first guy I'm gonna do. Shout out to my guy Ting Sports. Hey, do you have a YouTube channel? I'm gonna check you out if you do. Philly Notion is doing a call in, so call in, Philly Mike. Hey, shout out, yeah, Mike. He's doing one. I'm gonna have to check him out then. Hey, listen, if y'all don't know who Philly Notion is, go sub up my guy Philly Notion. I might get off of here and call in and chop it up with Philly Notion for a little bit too. But if you don't know who Philly Notion is, type in Philly Notion, search him. He's live right now. And when you go over there and you're in the chat, say, "What's up, Philly Notion? Philly Mike sent me over here." Tell him that Philly Mike sent you over there. We about to be getting off in a little bit. Ethan said we have too many Jalens. Facts. Jerry said Jalen Mills needs to go. Williams said, bro, where were you last night with the 6? I know. I couldn't stream it, bro, but I watched the game. Shout out to Furkan Korkmas. Hey, William, did you catch my video? Like 2 or 3 hours ago, I dropped the Sixers post-game video. Did you catch that? If you didn't, hey, Furkan, shout out to Furky. The Philadelphia Jalens, you already know. Shout out to everybody. But we about to get off. Hold on. Let me answer this text message and I get back to y'all. Listen, LB just hit me up with some good ideas. We might have a nice, special, crazy type video coming. You know what I mean? Philly Fanatic said, Philly Notion is a good dude and very knowledgeable. That's my guy. Listen, I had Philly Notion on my channel only one time, but I've been hitting him up last week. We were going to do a live stream together, but we just couldn't connect. But within the next week or two, we will be having Philly Notion on the channel. Jalen under center, Jalen in motion. He looks down the field, fires, hits Jalen for a touchdown. Jalen caught an amazing pass over Jalen Ramsey, who runs over. You got 3. They're fighting. Jalen punched Jalen. Jalen punches this Jalen, and Jalen's going to help. The other Jalen's coming to help. What the heck is going on? What is going on? Eagle Slayer say, what's up, dog? What's going on with you? We've been alive for 1 hour and 29 minutes. Whew, it's about that time. Bryce Kelly said, what do you think? Pitts at 6? I'll be doing a video on it, but I'm thinking to kind of no. But I'm going to tell you what I really think about him very soon. We did talk a little bit about this earlier, but shout out to you. Yo, Mike, you getting off and the chat heating up. You need a moderator or a stand-in, bro. Sign me up, my guy. You already know. The chat getting spicy and I'm getting tired. I should have brought a couple beers up. I'd have been good. I would have pulled an all-nighter for you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to everybody, though, but the Jalens are crazy. Shout out. They'd be like Jalen under center. They're going to fake the hand off to Jalen, who's in motion. He's going to drop back. He hits Jalen over the middle. He's running up the side. Jalen blocks for Jalen. Jalen gets a touchdown. And the three Jalens it'd just be crazy. It'd just be crazy. Isaiah Smith, what's going on? What's good, my dog? My bad if I'm late. Nah, you only an hour and 30 minutes late. You extra late, my guy. Shout out to you, though. We started talking about the quarterbacks and finished with the chat moving us over to the draft. And a lot of people are looking at Chase. A lot of people looking at Smith. We're going to talk so many different scenarios. We're going to do comparison videos, scenario videos, trade back videos. And then you know what we're going to do? I'm going to come on here. I'm going to set up a mock draft. And when the Eagles are on the clock, you guys are going to pick. So it's going to be a Philly Talk podcast early mock draft done by the fans. So I'm going to say, the Eagles are on the clock. You're going to see on the screen who is available. I'm going to say in the chat, where are we going? Offense, defense. Y'all say offense, we look on the offense. We going wide receiver, we going whatever wide receivers. Whoever the majority of the chat say, we draft. And then I do a final thing and I'll, hang it up on a community post that this is the Philly Talk podcast live mock draft where the people pick. So like I said, the 6th pick comes up. I ain't going to say nothing. My mouth, quiet. I'm going to say chat. We got Jamar Chase. We got Micah Parsons. We got Surtain. We got Kyle Pitts. They're all on the board. Who you guys got? And I'm going to watch the chat. And if we get, 15, 6, and 7, I'm going to say going once, going twice, sold. And we're going to rock with that dude. We're going to do that for all 6 rounds. And I'm going to put it up on the community post. Bang. It's the people's mock draft. Shout out to you guys. And then you're going to have someone like Kristen's like, let's go with Fields. That's crazy. Shout out to everybody in the chat, though. I've been saying I'm going to get off late for the last 10 minutes. Keep saying it. Shout out to you guys, though. But again, that's what we doing on here. So make sure you got post notifications on. So when I do that mock draft of the people can be involved. Shout out to you guys. We're going to have a bunch of stuff from all the type of scenarios and all that good stuff. And my guy LB did just text me and say, got to stay hush until we put it out there. But we got some good stuff coming up. We got some good stuff. LB, Philly 5, BBP, maybe some others. I'm going to try to do as much of a solo draft breakdown. I like the comparisons. Last year, I did a Denzel Mims versus Justin Jefferson. That video went crazy. So we're going to have the Chase versus Smith, Farley versus Surtain, Samuels versus Horn. We're going to do a bunch of them. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on, Philly, the podcast in the building. Bet you the chat draft better than Howie. Listen, the chat is about to get us a popping draft. We're going to have to keep sharing it. Hopefully Howie gets a hold of it. That's what Twitter comes in. Why is this news? This is the same for every team with every position when all new coaches come in. Duh. Stop only focusing on Wentz. Oh, my goodness. You can tell you're just getting in here because at the end of the day, I explained it as it's Carson Wentz's job to lose. That's what I said. I think you should listen to some of the words before you just assume, my guy. Shout out to you, though. But I said it's Carson Wentz's job to lose. Everybody's going to say competition. It's not going to be a legit competition. That's what I said. Would I like it to be a competition? Of course. We'll see. Please no, don't get Fields, get Pitts. Let's go. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 94 people still hanging in here with us. Be sure to smash the like button on the way out. That will be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. What we got? $1.16, I think. Something along them lines. Shout out to everybody. Carson is the quarterback. Simple. It's his job to lose. It's Carson Wentz's job to lose. That's what I think. I said it the first 5 minutes we were on here, and I'll say it the last 5 minutes until we get off. Carson's job to lose. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Until next time, you guys know what time it is. See you, my guys. Peace.